But let's just get back to one of the top stories we have for you. And opposition leader Raila Odinga insists that there will be no election come 17th of next month without a level playing field. Appearing on KTN News last night in an exclusive interview, a first of its kind since the Supreme Court delivered its landmark ruling, Odinga outlined demands which he says must be met within the 60 days before Kenyans go back to the ballot. Among them is a resignation of IEBC CEO Ezra Chiloba and procuring ballot prints and services of another firm. Well, Ken Aseka begins our coverage with that developing story.
With just 33 days to the October 17th presidential repeat polls, the National Super Alliance NASA says there will be no election if its demands are not met. Insisting that NASA is not planning to boycott the election, opposition leader Raila Odinga says the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is not able to conduct free, fair, and credible elections as currently constituted. Among the demands Odinga has put forth is the dropping of Dubai-based printing company Al Ghurair, dismissal of IEBC CEO Ezra Chiloba, together with officers involved in electoral malpractices that undermined the credibility of the August polls, and sourcing another ICT provider.
We want to go for an election and win them. And if we lose fairly, we also will accept the results. But we don't want to go to an election where the referee is also a player in the field. We want to ensure that there is a truly neutral, independent referee, that the playing field is level.
Referring to the demands as irreducible minimum, the NASA leader claims the electoral body is working under duress and that the Commission and the Jubilee Party are now a united movement. But the opposition chief believes that there is still enough time to have the reforms in place.
What else can you conclude if you see that the chairman raised very fundamental issues, 12 points, in a memo to the CEO? Those points have not been addressed. Now he's saying they're united. There's unity in crime. We don't think that the chairman would want to do that voluntarily. So we think that the chairman is acting under duress. And other commissioners.
Odinga also dismissed recent impeachment threat by President Uhuru Kenyatta should NASA win the upcoming elections, saying the Jubilee Party enjoys artificial majority with record election petitions already in court.
By the way, Jubilee knows that they cannot win if the elections are held in a proper way. That's why Uhuru Kenyatta is already given up. He's saying that he's only going to try to impeach me after I've beaten him. So he already knows that he's already been beaten. There's no way that he can beat me unless he rigs the elections. We need to know that the majority that they're enjoying here is artificial. Because for once, we have had this rigging that took place across board. You've got governors who are basically also computer chicks.
When put to task over secession remarks that are popular with the coalition's head of strategy, David Ndii, Odinga said that he still believes in Project Kenya, but laid the blame on the country's leadership.
Consider divorce if Project Kenya isn't working.
That's what other people have said.
No, he's talked about it in articles that he has written in the paper.
He said people should look at do we really have all the ingredients of an inclusive society where all people are free and feel that they are catered for?
Do you think we do?
I don't think so, but I think that it is possible to create a conducive environment that will create this country, hold this country together. I have not given hope on Project Kenya, but I think that it is the leadership that we have in this country which is actually leading people into desperation. When you see people begin to entertain those kind of ideas and views, it tells you that something is seriously wrong with Project Kenya.
And with the opposition witnessing defections, including the decamping of its fifth principal, Isaac Ruto, and now former Meru Governor Peter Munya, who has dumped NASA barely a week after joining the team, Odinga describes them as opportunists and victims in the struggle.
I have received a message from Mr. Munya, which tells me that he was under a lot of pressure, and therefore he had no other choice. And understand, and I've excused him. So I have no problems at all.
Do you think that was the same for Isaac Ruto?
Certainly. So you call those people casualties in the struggle.
October 17th is fast approaching, with NASA and Jubilee maintaining hardline positions over IEBC reforms. And now, with the so-called irreducible minimum demands, the stage is definitely set for a bruising battle. But will the IEBC survive or succumb to the mounting pressure? The clock is ticking. Kenaseka, KTN News.